Well, hey, if we take you out of handcuffs, that can be an issue?
No.
All right.
Yeah. But I see what you guys have for me. It's okay. I can see what you guys are like ultimately going to do to me at this point. Like, I understand this.
Yeah, you've been under arrest for some time.
Yeah.
You're gonna go to jail.
Yeah, but at this point, you just want to go ahead and cuff me up. But I'd like to talk to a lawyer at this point, so but like, understand that. I hope everyone's good. I wish everyone what they want out of life. I really do.
Okay, so then stay seated, but
Yep.
your hands behind your back for me, all right?
So just for documentation. It's...
October 9th, 2024. It's a typical Wednesday afternoon in the suburban community of Poulsbo, Washington, until a deeply disturbing event unfolds inside a family home on Scandia Road. 23-year-old Seth Richard South and his two teenage brothers, 16-year-old Sebastian and 17-year-old Scotty, are the only ones home. Just before 3 p.m., Seth dials 911 to report what he claims is a critical medical emergency.
It's up 911. What are you reporting?
Hello, we need an ambulance to 6 Scandia Road Northwest.
Okay, and is that a house? Is that a house or an apartment?
Yes, it's a house. Yes, our
And
youngest
what
brother.
city are you in?
We're in Poulsbo.
Okay, and is the patient conscious?
No, we
Okay.
didn't
Are
find
they
him
breathing?
in time. No, we didn't find him in time.
Okay, and so if he's not conscious and not breathing, we need to start CPR.
No, he's no longer alive. He's throat. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, he's his own throat?
Yes.
Okay, do you know why he did this?
No, it's not.
Okay, and is the knife still near him?
What's that?
Is the knife still there in his hand, or where's the knife?
Yes. Well, no, it dropped beneath his head right now.
Is there any other weapons in the house? Seth? Seth, are you there, Seth? Seth, can you hear me?
Deputies arrived expecting to provide medical aid, but quickly realized the situation was far more serious. Inside the home, they found the two young men, Sebastian and Scotty, unresponsive. Both had sustained knife wounds and were declared deceased. The distribution of blood and the position of the bodies indicated foul play, with the initial police report describing the scene as consistent with homicidal means. This contradicted Seth's 911 report and shifted the case into a high-priority criminal investigation. As for Seth, he was nowhere to be found. As homicide and forensic units took over the Scandia Road home, a regional manhunt began, a felony warrant was issued, and a bolo alert broadcast a description of Seth's black 2018 Toyota Tacoma pickup. Law enforcement warned the public that Seth was believed to be armed and should be considered dangerous. Fortunately, the pursuit ended less than 2 hours later. Pierce County deputies spotted the Tacoma and utilized a spike strip to disable the vehicle.
Driver, show me your hands! Hands out the window! Keep your hands out the window! If you reach in that car, I'm gonna shoot you! Do you understand me? He's got his out of here! I love you guys so much. I'm telling you. Step out, get on the ground.
On the ground, on the ground, on the ground.
Okay. Just drop the phone. I love you guys. Hold on, I need a hand.
Court records show that deputies inspected the truck and observed blood on the center console, the gear shift, and the driver's seat. Published reports say that before he was apprehended, Seth contacted a family member and admitted to killing 2 people without saying who. He was then transported to the sheriff's department for a recorded interview with detectives. With the scene processed and the initial evidence documented, investigators turned their attention to the interview. Detectives needed to determine whether Seth would stick to his original narrative or begin to change course. But almost immediately, they encountered a problem. Before they could establish what happened, they first had to determine whether Seth was willing or even able to give a direct answer.
Give you some time to talk to these gents.
No problem. How you gentlemen doing?
Good, yourself?
I'm pretty good. Well, yeah.
Good as you can be, probably considering, huh?
Where, I mean, the questions that people have, what's possible just, like, by itself, like, I don't necessarily know, things like that, you know?
Well, hey, if we take you out of handcuffs, that can be an issue?
No.
Alright.
I guess this is something that, I don't know if there's something in my genetics that can be, like, here's my problem, like, say my ability to, like, you know, be whole, like, when the times are, like, completely necessary, I can do that, no problem. But, you know, I still got normal human problems.
I got you.
It's just when the times are needed, I'll make sure everyone's good. It's just, some people get stabbed a lot, you know, that's, yeah.
Well, your name is Seth, right?
That's right.
Nice to meet you, Seth. My name is Detective Young. This is Detective Flint. We're with Kitsap County Sheriff's Office. Our body cameras are going to capture our conversation with you, audio, video, right? Just standard stuff.
That's all right. You guys got to understand that at this point in time, the conclusions I came to, it's like, it just seems like everyone's got the same fight.
Okay.
There you go, alright?
Yeah. And like, just for me, the ability to be able to be, you know, look at people and say, there is a chance that they could, you know, there's a chance. Yeah. It has to be done, and it can, for me, I can do these things when I look around and I say things are even for everybody, and that's a valuable thing. I think.
Well, before we go any further, I want to keep talking to you, but did anybody read you your Miranda warnings yet?
Yes, sir. Yeah, they did, and then they asked me if I wanted a lawyer and all that. I think, like, we're at a point in time where something like this, like, there's minds on 2 sides. There's things I wish I didn't have to do, and so other people are the same, and that's just how it is. It's just, there's a collision. There's, like, the best I can do about it is have to be, you know, shitty one way or another, level it out. Things like this, it's just necessarily, like, in the same way, like, people, in the same way I've met, like, amazing people everywhere, it's just I don't want to necessarily tie them all in, even though it is very possible that they all have to be tied in to, like, you know, figure things out. Like, that does have to be a thing.
As investigators tried to make sense of Seth's statements, those closest to the family were struggling to understand how things could have escalated to this point. We only have questions and heartbreak, no answers or explanations. We are reeling in shock, said Cheyenne South, sister of Scotty, Sebastian, and Seth. Cheyenne said the siblings had always been close and that Seth had shown affection toward them throughout their lives. The boys lived at home with their parents and both had plans for the future. Scotty was looking forward to graduating. He loved the outdoors and hoped to become a park ranger. Sebastian, affectionately known as Bass, had just turned 16 and was excited to get his driver's license so he could drive his friends around. Up until Wednesday, there was nothing in question for his love for us, and it's weird. Feelings don't shut off, Cheyenne said. They all had a very tight-knit relationship with Seth as well. Since he was in the home, he constantly took care of them, looked after them. He definitely showered us all with affection our whole lives, up until that point. But the public record paints a more complicated picture. Court documents show repeated prior contact with law enforcement dating back to 2019, including residential burglary, assault, protection order issues, theft-related allegations, and harassment. Most notably, just 1 month before the homicides, he had been arrested on a felony harassment allegation involving a reported threat to kill. That case was later cleared. Back in the interview room, detectives sought to redirect Seth's line of thinking, looking for any statement that could clarify what had actually happened inside the home.
For me, I guess being in this room is more of like I guess if we have things and you guys have things, and then they create what we need to all enjoy each other, even though some people just manage to enjoy it.
You brought up a few times kind of how what's brought us to this room.
What was that?
You've brought up like how our past has brought us to this room and the people we know have brought us to this room.
Yeah, and
Can you explain why you think you're in this room?
well, I can explain why I'm in this room. I think if my very past goes as deep as your guys' very past, like in a way, even if y'all could be different than me or I could be different than you, the same indifferences between the both of us could be directly linked to be creating what is working. It always comes down to, I mean, here's the thing, you guys want me on camera saying this or saying that, but it's like, why would you guys want me on camera saying this or that? Like, what's the point of that? I'm telling, like...
Well, we weren't there.
Yeah.
I don't know all the details of what happened, but I want to understand better what happened.
It's just things like this, for me, when I say I care about both sides, like, it's just from the understanding of, like, knowing what happens to both sides. I don't like to see either of it. It's really hard to, like, watch that.
Yeah.
So it's just easy for me to be able to talk to anyone I feel like is different to me. But putting that on a camera or something and then showing that, like, in a way, would be, it's a question of, is it the best thing for the world or is it not? And that's something we don't know.
Well, I think it's a good thing for the world to understand, right? Because already, I mean, like you said, we've probably been in here about 15 minutes or so now, and you've kind of explained how you're trying to protect people, right?
Yeah,
And there's
right.
this, and you've kind of explained this duality of good and evil.
Yeah, the duality of good and evil is very
right,
strong.
And right, how they cross.
But they're not, but it's not good and evil.
Hold on,
it's,
1 second.
Yeah.
So it's important for us to understand the events that led up to our paths crossing. And I think those events are what happened today. So what we're hoping is that you could explain what happened today from your perspective, and just kind of fill in some of those gaps for us.
I just think, like, you guys are very intelligent. Like, you guys understand. Like, in everything I've told you, you've pieced together what you need to know about this. But for me, in times like this where I have to let the other intelligent people, like, completely know it, and then just let them do whatever they want to do with the information. I'm more so like, I enjoy and I like the idea of minds as strong as mine in terms of, like, intellect, being able to solve problems that could one day, you could just look around and everyone's just enjoying their life the way they want to enjoy their life. But, like, at the same time, it just seems like everyone wants to just go be able to live how they want to live. So it's like,
What do you want?
I just want people to be able to live how they have to, or want to live, have to live, whatever. Like, I think that's incredible.
A little over 40 minutes into the interview, detectives bring up the deceased brothers for the first time, a clear attempt to interrupt the rant he seems absorbed in. By introducing the names into the conversation, they're trying to pull him out of the abstract and get him to respond to the actual victims, the actual deaths, and the actual consequences.
Either side of something can be a dangerous side of something right now. So I have to take, and that's what has to happen. So, but
Were your brothers dangerous? Your brothers' names are Sebastian and
yeah,
Scott.
Yeah, they I suppose, but not dangerous in the way that most people understand. Not dangerous in the way of how I'm describing. If you have 10 and then you have 5 and 5, it's dangerous in the way if you take 5 and 5, but then people try and add on 2, or they try and add on 3 or 4, and 3 or 4 of these people tend to be rather strong because they come from the original 10. That's where you start to get the abnormalities of the original 10 that creates the problems, and that's how things work.
What's striking here is that even though Seth's thinking comes across as scattered and hard to follow, he's trying not to directly incriminate himself. He clearly understands why he's sitting in that interview room, yet he either can't or won't provide concrete details about the killings. When his brothers are mentioned, he becomes noticeably evasive. This creates a real challenge for detectives. Their job now is to find the right approach, the right wording that might cut through the rhetoric and unlock the truth.
Like, yeah, in doing that, you allow everything that stems to be natural in terms of nature happens.
Yeah.
And that is possibly something that everyone enjoys.
We don't
just
know
like
what everyone enjoys, right?
we
We're all
don't.
individuals.
Yeah, exactly. We're all individuals too.
I don't know what Sebastian enjoyed.
Yep.
I don't know what Scott enjoyed.
Yeah.
I think that they did have lives that they enjoyed.
Yep.
And then something happened today that they're no longer able to do that.
Yep.
So your parents, what are their names again? Their first names?
Well, I just think like I just want everyone to be able to exist, guys. I don't know. Yeah, they're very natural things, and they ended up being just very what is like considered as peace. So like just people just having some type of just enjoyment, and like I just want everyone to have this if they don't, and like I'm just Sean. I guess I don't know. Like I grew up with him, I believe.
Okay.
But like
Last time you saw him?
probably 3 weeks ago or something.
Okay. Was he visiting the house? Where did you see him at?
Oh yeah, he's probably visiting the house. He does. But like.
You said you had a question for us, though.
Yeah, but you distracted me as you went through. What was it? Do you remember like the direct into that topic or whatever?
No, I think what we're trying to do, you brought it up, that you want to tell the truth.
Yeah.
And that you want us to have information, because I think it will help. Information is helpful, right? Communication is key. And I think you have information about what happened today to help us better understand where you're coming from, why you did what you did, how it happened, right?
Yeah.
You have that information. You do.
So, with like I said, in the way I talked about, like, yeah, this problem that occurs, like, so essentially, oh God, sorry, these things, Oh man, that's unfortunate. See, these things is actually like, like my sadness is like, it's not like it's not as dangerous as you guys actually think it is. Like the sadness is just kind of like if I have to die here, which I will, like as in like I wouldn't survive, I would still try and help them. Like that's what that is for me. Like even if I thought I was actually going to like lose everything, like seeing those two people that I think like could be very helpful to each other is like something that for me basically essentially causes me to just see a sadness of kind of like why are things happening like this? And this is kind of more of a final like there's got to be a very real like piece together of this, of somewhere where there have been probably political attacks on both sides. And if both political sides can come in and say, hey, we were attacking this way, we were attacking this way, there can be a genuine like world where everyone like where what life was supposed to be and what life was supposed to be for us and everyone else.
So
Yeah.
we're talking about your family.
Yeah.
We're not talking about politics. We're not talking about the world. We're not talking about 330 million people. We're talking about you. We're talking about Sebastian. We're talking about Scotty. Those are the only three people right now that we're talking about. So do me a favor. Tell me what happened when you got to the house.
All right, so I get to the house, right? Oh, this is hard to watch. Like I get to the house, like it. I mean, they fight, like they fight often, and it's not something you have to actually like. You have to like watch out for. Like it's been often.
Right. So you get to the house.
Yeah. So I get to the house. I start looking around. There's nothing going on in there. I'm like, what the heck? And then I walk upstairs. Which, Sebastian with the knife? One of these two had a knife, and they shoved it in the other's neck, right there at the top of the stairs up there. And then somehow, I think it was Sebastian. He managed to still fight him back for a while with a fucking another knife, and he just cut him up really bad. And it basically, one was bleeding out really bad, and the other was too. And I was trying very hard to stop them, and I could not.
Did you ever have a knife in your hand?
There was a point I had a knife in my hand, and that was like watching like what happened here was like very like low for me, and it was like one of them, Sebastian, for whatever reason, was pretty strong. So was Scotty. They're both very strong, and I just thought maybe like that information needs to be spread with other people.
We've heard you.
Yeah, and that's just kind of what that was. So for me,
Okay, so when did the knife come into your hand?
the knife came into my hand when there was for me, I thought there was a chance I could save both of them because he had pulled it out of his neck and he was like holding like so, and then Scotty was still charging with the blade, and I was trying to push him off, and I was like trying to hold him off. I had to start, I guess, like cutting him a few times, pushed him back, and then he looked at me and like he just like, for him though, he had no care about it. Like for him, he was just willing to be that way. And if that's just how things are now, and some people just don't enjoy life, for me, that's okay. For me being maybe a key part of the puzzle to be taken care of, like that's an understanding of the way of life that me and my people have.
What did you do with the knife when you had it in your hand?
With fighting Scotty?
Yeah.
Like I was mocking him really. Like just kind of mimicking his style.
What were
Like
you saying? How do you mock him?
Like mock him like he was good. Like he was like when I say good, like he was a lot stronger than me, as he was like trying to like slash me down like and everything. Mm-hmm. But Sebastian had already been fighting him for a while or something, and he was kind of like cut up a bunch of times.
Sebastian was cut up a bunch of times?
No, Sebastian was only cut up like once, I'm pretty sure. He was like boom, and he was like bleeding out, but like he was like holding his chest or something, and he was like, still fighting him.
Okay, so then tell me what happened when you put the knife in your hand. What happened with the knife? Like,
and seeing that in a similar way, to how I might be the problem too, I decided, I was like, well, what I just saw, I haven't seen in my family since like 30 years ago or more, or like from what I've heard of stories. Okay. So that made me worry that there was just a complete, war of nuclear power. Okay. This was and like, if there is, I just want.
Did you take the knife that you had in your hand from Sebastian or Scotty?
Not that I had in my hand, was from Scotty.
Okay. So did you take it from Scotty or?
No, because like the knife was dropped in quite a few different locations because they had been fighting it out. Like, essentially, Bass got stabbed in the neck and everything like that, and he was fighting back and slashing, and then Scotty was a lot bigger than him. He was like pushing him around. The knife's falling. Bass somehow was like still like fighting, but like the knife still ends up back in him. It's all bad.
Okay, so
Like
tell me.
another big thing that, like, I think the biggest thing that I'm like maybe not telling you guys is just like, for me, like, it's something that exists with us. Like when we feel strongly about something, we just decide to option, and there would be no. We wouldn't like whatever has to happen naturally. We would let it happen, and that's something that like even when I can see that that's a possibility for me, I will maybe have to choose that option strictly because that's just a way my people are and like with certain things.
Okay. So, Sebastian and Scotty are fighting upstairs. You're telling us. You go up there to try to break it up, maybe. Sebastian has already had a stab to his neck.
Yeah, our chest. I'm not 100%. Yeah, I didn't.
Scotty, you said, was cut up pretty bad. Where did you see Scotty?
Well, Scotty wasn't cut up pretty bad until he like I'm telling you, like Sebastian was like I don't know what like his DNA is, and it's kind of scary because he like pulled it out of his neck and was like he was like fighting him like he was like seeming to lose a lot of blood. So it was like there's just a scary like level of DNA, and at this point I think maybe the right answer the whole time was the fact that if life isn't as great for everyone as it is for everyone, it's come to a time for what my family has sworn to protect to no longer be protected by us, which for us this is, you know, no one likes to back down or whatever. No one likes to do that. But for us, we do this when times are necessary and we feel the others are right. And that would be us.
I'm sorry, you took the knife from Scotty?
Yeah.
Okay. And what did you do with it after that?
Well, at this point, he's still fighting back for the knife aggressively, but he's also, like, cut up a lot. So, like yeah, which, like, the part you're looking for is, like, did I end up having to kill Scotty? And at a point, I did, yes. And, this was a very real thing for me. But, like, it was also very real for them. Maybe we are definitely part of the problem. And if it's part of the problem that you guys think can only be fought in a way where they have to be, like, very well then for my family just kind of, like, as they've made this correlation, they realize that's just how it'll have to be for them.
Okay. What did Scotty do after you stabbed him?
After I did?
Yeah.
Well, like, he was already bleeding a lot too. Like, the whole thing was very messy, it was very bad. And, like, yeah.
What did he say anything to you after you stabbed him?
No.
Did Scotty say anything to you after you stabbed him?
They were blank faces. They were just complete. And, like, that's things. Just is what it is for, you know, what's left.
Okay,
But,
so it's 4 times in the face you stabbed him.
I slashed him.
Slashed him.
Like I was just fighting off I was just fighting off what Sebastian wasn't able to fight off, but like Sebastian still like at one point like had the knife from him or pulled the knife from like his own, like he was like fighting him off, and like but they were fighting in a way I'm not, like, even if I wanted to try and help them, I realize they're gonna kill me, unfortunately, if I try and help. But for me, if that's part of it, that's just part of it. So
Did you get stabbed anywhere?
yes, I got slashed right here, and like as he was going, and yeah, it's just unfortunate, but like I want things to be the way they could be for everybody.
How many knives were there?
It was like a
Who were
whole.
used in the fight, that is.
Well, what? I want to say 2. I know Scotty at one point, he had grabbed a kitchen knife from downstairs, and then he went upstairs. Yeah, and then what did Sebastian have? Or who had the kitchen? Was it him or him? The point is, yeah, it could be that this very thing is like partially just as much my fault as someone else's fault, essentially, and we're just willing to like figure it out, see if like lots of people yeah, like it's just lots of people, like not lots of people, but like in the way I was fighting Scotty and I was stabbing him too, like that's something that's something, if that's not necessary, we don't want normal people to, or whatever's, like, we don't want people who already enjoy their lives, if they do, to have to go through that.
Yeah.
So we're willing to step back, and if they enjoy their lives, it's for them, and it can be whatever they need it to be. But for us, we just completely step back from this. This is no longer our question to answer, and we can't figure it out. But what needs to be understood is I don't fight like that anymore, even though I have had to. So, like, in the decision that my blood is labeled bad, and it needs to be basically put me in handcuffs, and like I want to make sure that, like, there's a possibility that some people don't understand how bad a life could be that some people think should exist.
Yeah.
And even now, I'm not willing to actually physically fight about that anymore. Some people still are, and that's okay. But
Did you call 911?
The 911, that's where the thing gets weird. I did call 911. I told them, and I was literally like, no, they tried to, like, commit. I told them this deal, and then another phone number called me. 2 phone numbers called me, and they started talking about, like, asking me all these questions about where I'm going and everything. I got extremely panicked, and then I realized this is where I put together that there's, like, a bunch more people that I know, like, involved in this, and it worried me.
Okay,
and I was like,
did you call 911? Were you still at the house?
yeah.
Okay, was Scotty alive then or no? Scotty was still alive when you called 911?
Yeah, Scotty called 911.
Scotty called 911.
Yeah. Scotty called 911 because he knew what was happening with Sebastian. Like, he knew that Sebastian, yeah. But for me,
did you get on the phone with 911 ever?
I did, like, towards the end.
Okay, towards the end. But the beginning of the call was Scotty.
Yeah, apparently Scotty knew that him and him were going to fight. Like, apparently Scotty knew that him and Bass were fighting.
Okay.
And, like, maybe he got that, like, in his mind from someone. I don't know. But understand, for me, we do not fight no more. Like, you guys are, like, you go ahead and put me in cuffs because I do not fight no more.
Okay. Did Scotty call 911 from his cell phone or a landline?
It's a cell phone.
Okay. And then when you got on the phone with 911, where was Scotty at?
Scotty was up there at the stairs with me. And, like, yeah, at this point, this is exactly how it all ties in. We're up there. Scotty was with that big knife. I was over there, like, standing, trying to, like, initially help Bass. Then Scotty tried to kill me with the big knife. And I was like, dude, what are you doing? And I was like, why are you guys doing this? And, like, I understand that might be the very thing you guys protect, in the same way there's the very thing I protect. And there's a sad revelation that the way you guys would maybe attack something is the same way that maybe we would attack something. But for me, it would no longer be the way we are.
I think what might be happening, Seth, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I think what might be happening is you're trying to minimize what you did today and kind of place some of the blame on Scotty and Sebastian. I think that what you're trying to tell us is that Scotty and Sebastian had more involvement in hurting each other than you had in hurting them both.
This could be true, yes. That's the whole line of the problem, of the either problem or not problem, could be directly tied to my blood and everything. And that's why, like, the decision for me, and the way, like, I say I feel bad about things, and like this, for me, those times have become so hard because, like, I have a genuine, like I didn't want what happened to accidentally happen, like, even though it kind of is what was supposed to happen. So, like, for me, like, the story of where my, like, I guess where my blood for me and, like, the way I was tied to it ends exactly where it's at. And then the farther ends of it, yeah.
So tell me the truth.
Yeah. Well, we know the same truths here, and, like,
did Scotty?
Yeah. Scotty
didn't stab Sebastian.
So, yeah, there's a lot to it, but, like,
Scotty didn't stab Sebastian.
Yeah, no, we're at the point. We know what we know, and if you guys have to do what you guys think you have to do, but I'm just trying to, I want to show you guys things from the way I was raised that helped us to be, like, something that doesn't happen, like, slow, but, like, fast, that you can just be like, calm if you want to and things like that. Like there's these things from like just the world around us, like outside, like and ancestral things, I guess, like just different things you would eat and things like this that really help regulate it all. Like if you want it to be, if you don't want it to be, it's your decision to keep it how it is.
So,
and we don't fight for this no more.
You're on the phone with 911.
Yeah.
After Scotty's on the phone with 911. Did you tell 911 anything? What did you talk to him about?
Like by the time I was on? Yeah, I told him, yeah.
What did you tell him?
I told him Sebastian killed himself, which I thought he did. Sebastian hadn't killed himself. Scotty had killed him. But
why did you tell 911 that Sebastian killed himself when you told me that Scotty stabbed him in the foot?
Yeah, because when Scotty when he started attacking me, I realized that he must have killed him, unless Sebastian just killed himself because he didn't want to fight Scotty. So like, there's the thing. I don't fight for these things no more, and this is very true for us, whereas some people still do. And it's now to a point where if there's some people that still do, if they want to see what the world would look like to see if it's better for them, like the way a lot of people think it would end, that's okay.
Why did you leave the house instead of stay there and wait for the police to show up?
Like leave the house? Because there were so many people pretending to be different people. Like there was people that I had trusted, that like I had met, that like were telling me about how like there's possibly this one final end that could be like what's essentially known as heaven for everyone. Okay. And to me, that final end is like the best result, because now you no longer have people at war. But then there was all these other ones getting involved. Like all these people like.
So why did you leave the house?
I left the house. Like I wanted to avoid, like if there is a possible way for the final result of everyone getting to enjoy their life, like when it comes down to like what it is, like I wanted that to be a real thing. So like if I didn't leave the house, like there was forces at play like bigger than the police, things like that. And unfortunately for me and members of my family, there's sometimes that we have to deal with those things, but we don't deal with those things in the way people think, which is where we fight. We do not fight.
Where were you going to when you left the house?
When I left the house?
Yeah.
I was like, I drove around for 10 hours and I contemplated and I said, what world is created for people that's left right now? And I was like, if you have seemingly a lot of people that are willing to, basically what it seems like end a small few, the small few is probably wrong and the big few is probably right. It probably should end this way.
Where did you go after you left the house?
That is where I was driving around.
You didn't tell me anything. You didn't tell me. You said you were driving around for 10 hours. Where did you go after you left the house?
It was like 10 hours back and forth from one side of the state to another side of the state.
What time do you think it is right now?
Maybe it was like 5 hours. Like it's probably what, 6:30?
No, it's not 6:30. So you weren't driving around for 10 hours.
I suppose it was less than that.
What was your plan?
My initial plan?
Yeah.
My initial plan was to get a charging cord. My phone was dead, and I wanted to see if I could figure out where the nearest police department was. But like, I was very lost. Like, I'm not very good at finding my way around places.
Why would you go to the police station?
What's that?
Why would you go to the police station?
To meet you guys.
They were coming to your house. Could have just stayed there.
Oh, like I said, those very few, I believe some of them are very good. Like I truly believe some of these people, some of them are very bad. Like I said, I'm giving up that decision.
It doesn't answer the question though. What were you planning to do when you left the house after Scotty and Sebastian were dead?
Go to a police station.
Why didn't you go to one?
I didn't know exactly where one was, and my phone was dead. And in the phone, I needed to find out what I needed to find out, which was. Are you still following for this one?
No, because I don't understand. If you wanted to go to the police station, just wait at the house for the police to come to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose so. But it was like, there's an understanding that I have of the way that politics is right now, and the very way you guys will kill me probably very soon right now.
Why would we don't want to kill you? We're not going to kill you.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I really want to be, I want to be helpful and everything, but
You've been helpful. I think you're trying to tell us the truth. I think you've told us some of the truth. But
it's all like the entire way.
100% the truth.
If there is a difference between what you call good, bad, bad, good, good, bad, bad, good, it's probably a way of being able to describe it that makes things hard or something, because it's been similar in history when they try and sit down and maybe figure it out to each other, that it becomes I guess difficult.
It can be difficult if you try to lie about it.
Yeah.
The truth is easy. It only happens one way.
Yep, it does only happen one way for me, and that's unfortunate, but that's, yeah. Anyway, mine, yes.
Okay.
It's unfortunate for me that things go like that, but in a similar way to one of the cool aspects about you guys, is that you don't back down. For me, when I don't back down, it's not about fighting. It's about whatever topic I believe, or something I believe, close to my.
Listen, Seth. I would really like for you to tell us more about this. As far as, are there weapons in your truck right now?
Weapons in my truck? There's maybe. You guys have to search it. I actually don't know, but normally I'd keep things with me. I'd keep a gun on me or something, and it might be
one of the knives that was used today to stab Scotty or Sebastian in your truck.
No.
Okay. How about firearms? Do you have any guns in your truck?
Maybe.
Well, that's kind of
we don't have any guns in my truck right now.
Okay. What about anywhere else? Did you get rid of a knife as you're driving somewhere? Did you throw a gun out the window? Anything like that?
Yeah, I get what you're getting at. There is a gun, but for us it's sacred. It's not for us this gun becomes sacred because in the ways that I described earlier of the 10 on 10s, being able to stay safe, when the fives are getting basically destroyed, the gun is a sacred way of making sure that everyone can keep so for us the gun,
where is it at?
it's just that gun is the only thing that can, for me, telling y'all about that gun is pretty much the only thing that can actually kill me. So it's which is just
kill you.
Just for me, when I'm shot in the head, for example, with this gun, it kills me forever.
Where did you discard the gun at?
The gun is still in the house up there.
Okay. Was that gun used today to kill Sebastian or Scotty?
No, I wanted them to come back.
Did you use that gun at all today?
No, I did not. I did not use that gun today.
Okay. The only weapons that you used to harm Sebastian and Scotty were the knife?
Yeah. But there is a genuine difference between the two. And the gun lets them come back. You guys got to understand that with us. There's a genuine difference between the two.
I can't say I fully understand because that seems like a very sacred thing to you.
Yeah.
But I understand it's very important to you.
Yeah. But I see what you guys have for me. It's okay. I can see what you guys are ultimately going to do to me at this point, and I understand this.
Yeah, you've been under arrest for some time.
Yeah.
You're gonna go to jail.
Yeah, but at this point, you just want to go ahead and cuff me up. But I'd like to talk to a lawyer at this point, so but understand that. I hope everyone's good. I wish everyone what they want out of life. I really do.
Okay.
Just go ahead and stay seated, but
Yeah.
transparent your back for me, all right?
So just for documentation. Alright, I'm dead. Let's kill me. You're good. Just stab me. It's over. I don't fight. I don't fight the way you think I fight. I don't want it no more. I love everybody. Guys. I don't want to fight this way. Well, Seth, that was not a good choice on your part. I thought you were going to kill me, guys. You gotta understand. Roll over on your side. Okay. Can you push me over?
Good?
Yeah, we're okay. Roll over on your side. Just take a minute. We'll breathe, okay?
Yeah. Can you get another Band-Aid for him?
Shit, dude. Yeah. Do you want me to get fire here?
Yeah.
And 450. Can you get fire here?
Alright. It's alright, Jonathan. It's the way of my people, guys. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all.
Oh, that's great. I just didn't want it to fall on you.
Is that right?
You want to get in here real quick?
I can. I mean,
Someone try to pick it up.
Following the interrogation, Seth South was charged in connection with the deaths of Sebastian and Scotty Bass. Court records show both first and second-degree murder counts, reflecting alternative theories regarding intent and premeditation. The case remains in the pretrial phase. A key issue has been Seth's mental competency to stand trial. He has been transferred to Western State Hospital for evaluation and possible restoration of competency, a process that can take time. If convicted, Seth could face decades in prison, potentially life, especially given the presence of multiple victims. No determination of guilt has been made, and as of the date of this upload, the case is ongoing.